best of the
Commander.
best.
We are no regrets. What's the plan? GSL. Kaboom, baby! Go on.
Welcome back to the GSTL. It's all up to Alive now. He is the final player for Fnatic. They came here with 5. 4 have fallen, and now he is the last man standing.
Yeah, the last turn standing, and he has to play a Terran versus Terran. Fnatic on 1 point, Prime on 4. If Maru takes this game, the Prime team will advance. Fnatic will be out of the GSTL Season 3, and the map is Abyssal City.
It is indeed, and that makes me feel like we're going to see a proxy. Why choose this map if you want to play a straight-up game when there's so many other maps that you could choose for that? I feel like this map specifically chosen, we may see that proxy either at the top left or the bottom right, you know, that normal location, maybe for the Hellion drop, also maybe for proxy Banshee play. I don't think we're going to see any Marauder action or anything like that. I think we're just going to see proxy pressure play out of Alive into a normal game.
I certainly hope that we see a very action-packed game. This could be the last one. If Alive, of course, takes down Maru, then we are going to see a few more Prime players today. Marine King and Creator, they are still on the bench. Of course, there are also a lot of other players that they could choose. And now we're going into this game on Abyssal City. It's a Terran versus Terran. Here the GSTL, Fnatic against the Prime team. Alive has to win, or Prime will win the team battle. Starting off to the right side of the map in potentially the last game today, we have starting for Fnatic, the Terran player in red. Can he keep his team?
Fnatic Ladical Alive!
That was close.
That one got a little bit weird.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, that one was definitely...
I was so proud there for a second, and then it got all awkward. I'm like, ah. Well, Alive is up against a fellow Terran player. His opponent defeated Bial. It's the Marine Prince. It is.
Maru! Fly!
He's just got one more left.
Yeah, he's one of the youngest players in the GSL. He's definitely the shortest.
Yeah, that is for sure. I don't think anyone is shorter than he is in the GSL.
I actually think that he has a pillow in the booth that he sits on. I actually do. That's not even like joking or anything. I really think that he has a pillow in there.
He probably does. You know, when you have to play with the desk that everyone else with normal height is on, you're going to need something.
Yeah.
Or you at least need to do something with your monitor.
You know, these two guys already played in the last Up and Downs. Well, not the last Up and Downs, but the Up and Downs one season before that. They had to face each other in a best of one, and Maru was able to win it. He actually has an incredible win ratio in Terran versus Terran. He has a 65% win ratio in the mirror matchup, whereas Alive, even though he always states that this is a matchup where he's really confident in, has his lowest win rate in the TVT. In TVP and TVZ he's much better, but in TVT he only has 52%.
Not a good win rate to stand on. By the way, he's not actually going to go for necessarily a proxy here. I'm not sure what his plan is going to be, but his gas is incredibly late. He hasn't taken it at all.
Both of them are going for one barracks into Command Center now. Exactly the same builds that we see. There we have Alive now dropping his own CC.
That's kind of like saying, you know, I want to play you straight up. I don't want to actually take a risk here because I'm the last player alive. No pun intended. And I really want to fight this right. Oh, nice catch. Oh, that was so close. He actually will still be able to get it if there's a sharp turn.
This is like watching two snails race. And look how Legend highlights this battle.
Oh, the Marine!
No! He's a kill stealer! No. I thought actually it was a Marine of Alive and he would go for a kill steal. No.
No kill steal. No kill. That SCV goes home tonight. And maybe live to fight another day.
Yeah.
His name was Fred. And
What?
and he's so happy his friends and family are so thankful. Now he's been put on the front lines again to make a bunker, and that's going to help him defend.
I always just assumed that all SCVs would be called Bob. Bob the Builder.
A lot of them are, and I like that subtle reference there. Counter dropped his pen.
Yeah.
And
How did I manage to do that? Oh,
I don't know.
You know, there's this tiny gap in front of us between all the equipment, and I managed to drop my pen in there. Like, this was precision dropping.
Yeah, you dropped that pen better than anyone I think could have dropped.
Man, if Maru or Alive could drop Marines like I drop pens, they would be unbeatable.
Yeah, certainly. But right now, what we are seeing Maru drop is that third command center. He's taking it with a bunker to be safe, and we're going to see a little bit of pressure come out of Alive now. Now, he's got a reactor built here. Looks like he's got plans for reactor Hellions.
And on the other hand, we have the Prime player with a really late gas, because he got his additional command center. He's on 3 bases right now, or on 3 CCs, I should say, and will have now his tech a lot later than Alive, which gives Alive the opportunity to be a bit aggressive. But if he doesn't do any damage, then of course this additional command center will give Maru a pretty good standing in the game.
Yeah. Now, of course, this is exactly why he scans. He says, okay, what am I facing when I try to A, go for a drop, B, run Banshees, and what sort of tech do you have? Seeing the command centers is going to make him really happy with the choice that he's made, because he knows exactly now what he has to do. And what he has to do is damage. He doesn't want to hesitate. He's got to get in there and use the opportunity he has, because if he scanned and he saw his opponent also had tech, he'd be like, alright, well this isn't as dire as it was before, but it's a little bit harder to decide what to do at that point. Do you cancel Cloak? Do you keep going? But now he knows, okay, this is the ideal situation for the build that I was choosing. I just have to execute it well now.
Maru is going for the double engineering base, so if he produces a few missile turrets, he should be fine here. Also with the additional command center, he has a lot of scans. If he saves up some energy, then he will be in a good spot. Alive, on the other hand, he's a great player, and if he's able to do some damage, but look at that, Maru already knows what's going on. He saw the tech lab, he saw the starport, and there's already missile turret number 1.
And after the scan went down, he actually canceled Cloak. I think coming to the same realization that you just talked about is that there's 3 command centers. So he knows about Cloak, he saves scans, there's no way you're really going to accomplish much with that Banshee. I like that choice.
Double factory now.
Yeah, he's going into mech. This is something that his teammate Rain is known for, but he's going to be doing it this time. Maybe he can do it a little bit better. We'll see if Maru can pull off a Beyond multi-prong attack type of play. Look at this eBay block, needs to target the SCV.
Yeah, pretty awesome idea, but, well, Alive is in position. Here comes the Banshee, but yeah, this Banshee is not going to achieve too much. Tries to take down the tech lab, but with the Marines in position has to be very careful. And now we have the Raven also for our... we have the Raven for Fnatic Alive, whereas Maru is going for the double upgrades, +1/+1, adding the starport right now. Everything a little bit later because of this command center that he has.
You know, he's actually playing this... this is going to sound strange to say, but he's basically playing this Terran versus Terran like Beyond played his Terran versus Zerg, where he gets late medevacs, fast eBay upgrades, fast third command center, and just kind of waits. And we'll see if that works out for him in the end against his mech composition. It's going to be tough. Now, Blue Flame and Siege Mode at the same time with the double tech lab. So he's going to be going for a little bit more Siege tank heavy build, making 2 tanks at a time rather than working on that Hellion production.
Maru is already heading into Marauders now. Double medivac, as you stated. And the thing is, Maru is way ahead in economy. 48 harvesters, producing 3 at a time against 44. A few seconds ago, he was actually 10 harvesters ahead. And the question, of course, remains, when exactly is he going to take his 3rd base? This is always a little bit of a weird timing, because you need to be able to protect it.
Yeah. Hellions coming across the map, the first wave of them. They're about to have Blue Flame. Now, there's no 3rd base to attack. He doesn't really have a lot of openings. He could poke at these Marines if he wants to. I'm not... No, that wall's not tight. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that, but he's not going to try.
Now. I mean, we can double check it later, but no, he didn't catch these units.
Yeah, he didn't even try to run in. No. Well, that was a scary moment for both players there. A lot of that would have come down to Micro, but they just did not meet. Now they will meet with the Watchtower, and he's got more Hellions. Blue Flame is done. and he can trade decently well here. That's why Maru decides to pick up, saves a lot of his units.
Against Red Flame Hellions, he would have been able to pull it off, do some damage, but against Blue Flame, it's just a little bit too much. His upgrades are getting farther ahead, though. 1-1 is done, +2/+2 on his way. And the third base now established at the bottom left, whereas in the middle of the map, there are still a few units trying to chase down these Hellions, and one of them dies to the Marauder.
Now, Fred is currently being healed by a medevac. He went up to full health.
Is it one of the Freds?
Yeah, I selected him from the beginning. I've been following him, and you know, he just got healed up, so fear not, those people are worried for his health. This is actually too much. He can't fight here. He sees the siege tanks, and he's like, uh-oh, I'm going to lose everything here, and he is.
Yeah, Alive is chasing him.
Alive is actually going to be in a great position here with all the siege tanks he has. This is an excellent timing attack.
Yeah, this is really well done, but can he completely pull it off or not? Here comes the Prime player, trying to utilize all the buy units that he has. Alive has him a little bit on the run, and the army supply is currently in favor of the Fnatic player with 76 against 56. A great advantage for him.
And he's about to be able to drop another PDD. The first one that's up is going to defend him really nicely here. Starting to lose depots right now. Maru's going to find another way to fight this. He actually pulls his SCVs away from his third. This is just looking... It's looking like he can't fight here. Even with 2-2, I don't think he's going to have enough with all the Blue Flame backup he's got against those units.
He will try to crush this, and this is the only chance that he has, but I feel the position for Alive is at this point just way too strong. The SCVs at the bottom left aren't mining. He sends them in right now. He wants to crush this force.
The SCVs are going to... Well, he's being hesitant. He doesn't know if he wants to go in just yet.
He wants to wait for the next set of Marines.
He's losing medevacs now, and the Blue Flame Hellions up. Now he decides it's time to go. The SCVs in the south are going to distract the siege tanks a little bit. Can Maru actually break through? It just doesn't look like it.
He's trying though, and he's doing a lot of damage, but on the other hand, these siege tanks did just so much to the army of Maru, and now 29 Harvesters have been killed. Currently, we have 52 SCVs for Alive and only 32 for the Prime player.
And he's got so much more for the next wave if he wants to send it. Right now, you know, he's setting up back at home. But the thing is, Mech is an army composition that you want to keep all together. You want to have a big, strong army. You don't want to have waves of units coming across the map. So now he has to sit back and wait. And this does give Maru some time to get his SCV count back up. He has that third orbital up, and there's no way that Rain can actually move out there to pressure it. He can try to do a Hellion run by, but that's about it.
Yeah, Alive can definitely try to pull this off, but the problem is, as you already said, we have Mech against Bio, and so far Maru was able to hold. Bottom left now, saturating 3 mineral lines. We have the third command center, and to the top right there is a factory that blocks Alive's third. So this is getting a little bit tricky here. Alive definitely hasn't won the game yet.
Yeah, there's so many Marauders on the map right now. He has 19 Marauders, only 7 Marines. Banshees could be a problem. He doesn't realize, though, his opponent's composition is like that. And right now, with the position that Alive finds himself in, he's got to go for attack number 2. He looks like he doesn't really have any plans on making a third command center. He hasn't even started one yet. He hasn't even checked to see if there's any factory over there.
Does he actually have upgrades for his army? I don't think that he has a single one. He hasn't started his armory upgrades. And, well, Maru is on 2-2 already.
This Hellion run by would have been a game changer if the Marauders weren't there. Great positioning here by Maru, knowing that that's one weakness that he has. He's now going to try to catch these Hellions.
Alive was really trying to crush Maru with this attack, but with every single unit pulled, Maru was able to hold, and now Alive moves out again. This is like an all-in for him. He really puts all his hopes into this attack. If Maru crushes this and heads into +3/+3, which he does right now with the 3 base that he has, there's not going to be a chance for Alive to win this game. He doesn't have a third base, he doesn't have a third command center. This is going to be the one chance that Alive has, and the supply is nearly even here.
Yeah, this is very all-in. He's sieging up, but that buys a lot more time.
This is exactly what Maru wants to do. He wants to buy time.
Yeah, buy time, buy units. He's actually just continuing to produce 4 Marauders at a time. He's not going to have +3. That's just an unrealistic expectation for him to wait that long, but he's actually just going to avoid the army. He just avoided it. He's able to get out through a choke point, and now he's going to go, and we're going to have an elimination race, it looks like.
No, he really does it, and he lifts the supply, the command center at the bottom left. He's just trying to kill him.
But one concern I have with this type of plan is that there are no Vikings out for Maru, but there are 6 out for Reigns.
But he tries to save this command center at the bottom right, and This could change everything. The siege tanks on the high ground, there are 4 of them, and now Alive is trying to block the choke point with the SCVs that he's got left, but the rest of the army of Maru is just moving in. Army supply right now is 102 against 86 in favor of the Fnatic player. This is such a crazy game already.
Now, in base trade scenarios like this, where both players literally kill each other's expansions, you have to, there's a few things you have to keep in mind. One of them is Viking counts, the other one is medevac counts, and then is Cloak on the map. That's another big concern of players in this type of scenario where they don't have their orbitals landed all the time. But with the Vikings that Alive has, I think he has one inherent advantage, but will he be able to even get his orbital out? That's the question.
The orbital for Maru is already halfway across the map. It's at the bottom right now. And yes, Alive tries to save one of his own orbitals. But still, currently we're looking at an army supply of 62 against 67. Very even. +3 might finish.
Yeah, it's getting really, it's
where's the engineering rate?
It's at 99% basically right now.
That is so
he's
close.
targeting it.
He's losing it. Yeah, he's losing the upgrade. He doesn't have +3.
And it looks like, you know, when you consider all the pieces on the map right now, Maru is mining, but there's no way for him to kill that command center. He's going to have to build Vikings, and he doesn't have the ability to do that.
But he has 25 SCVs. He can mine, and he can now start to rebuild.
He needs to defend that base, and that's why he's got his army there. That's the one thing. If he can kill that base, if Alive can kill that base, then he can at least force a stalemate. But he has to kill it, and it's going to be a long time before either player can make units because they need some more supply depots.
He doesn't even try to rebuild. He uses all his SCVs now in order to take down this army. He wants to fight. He wants to have a good position where the siege tanks of Alive are not sieged up and then move in. He can use this orbital to the top left and just put it down, use mules for now to mine, leave 1 or 2 SCVs behind and just start building. He can't attack into the siege tank field. Do you think he's going to try it?
You know, he may have enough. It's hard to really judge. Oh, the Vikings are taking out those medevacs, so this is a great utility unit to have in this type of scenario. He has to be so careful about moving his siege tanks like this, but he knows he's got to move, he's got to do something. He's going to chase him now. He has to pull back. If he loses that orbital...
The siege just tanks up again. I feel like Maru doesn't really have to fight with 2 orbitals. If he really spots those positions, if he utilizes the mules and leaves 1 or 2 SCVs behind, he might be able to get enough supply depots that he can still produce some units.
He has 1 depot down, and he can start dropping add-ons to those depots as well as move around. He's using scans here, and this is because right now Alive has Vikings, so he can't use his visions to spot. Right now a ton of Hellions are queued up, but he doesn't have depots to make them with.
Alive is now mining again at the top right.
Yeah. And Hellions are stopping the mining of that orbital. If he kills both orbitals, he cannot lose this game. Because he will be able to, he has the Vikings, and his opponent cannot kill his structures that are flying.
The big problem is, here comes Maru, he tries, he moves into the siege up tanks, he knows that he has to take a shot here, and he's trying to pull it off, moves in with everything he has, but these tanks are so strong, but the buffer is gone, he could move in, but he doesn't, he loses his army, this is it!
GG! What a crazy end of that game, and Fnatic hangs on a little bit longer here with Alive.
He keeps his team alive for at least another game.
What a well-executed finish there, though, by Alive. He knew his only advantage, he used it well. I think a lot of this game got decided by the fact that those siege tanks were set up at home for defending when he tried to go up that ramp in the choke point. That weakened the army of Maru quite a bit. It was actually one of the reasons why he could not win that final fight.
And now we have 3 players left for the Prime team.
Yeah, I mean, so far it looks like they're not really messing around. We could see Creator or Marine King come out next, and that would not surprise me if they pull him out and say, you know what? You were able to take out 1 player, but you can't take out all of our stars.
Yeah.
Prime is such an all-star team.
And Prime, Gerard already mentioned earlier, the coach, he mentioned it. He said, like, okay, this is really important to us. We take this very serious. I think we will see another heavy hitter now coming out and trying to overcome this last obstacle that stands in their way.
Yeah. Well, that game, man, was pretty crazy there at the end.
Yeah.
You know, both players had 2 orbitals in different parts of the map. The Hellions were denying mining at 1, and then at that moment, he knew, okay, if I kill these orbitals, he can't kill me because he can't make Vikings and he can't kill my flying buildings, but at the same time, he just didn't really freak out. He was patient. He mined his mules on the top right. Who's it going to be?
Oh. Seems to be a little bit edgy at the top right now.
And it's Terius. Actually, Terius is coming out here.
All right.
I did not expect that.
Me neither.
I'm actually like, really surprised that they pulled Terius out here.
Yeah, me too.
He is the Bumblebee, of course. That was the other ID that he used for a while. Used to be on Foyu a long time ago.
Well, he's going to be the next player, so we have a Zerg versus Terran once again. I feel this time we are finally going to see Will win.
Yeah, it's got to be. And you can see his average win rate. Not too high. I'm loading up the lobby right now, and it is, in fact, going to be Whirlwind the map choice.
I would have been very surprised to see another map. But okay, so we have Terius. To me, what do you think is going to be the next player? I mean, the last two players they just have to be Creator and Marine King.
And Marine King, yeah. I think that there's very little chance we see anything else. Putting Terius out here after choosing Maru just feels strange, but Terius played so few broadcasts and matches recently that it seems clear to me that Gerard picked him because he's showing something in-house that we're just not seeing right now.
And of course now with Terius we have another Zerg in the team match.
And Alive has looked good against Zerg in the past. He's a pretty all-around good player. TVT seems to be his forte sometimes, but it just doesn't really show a weakness for Alive, a matchup. He doesn't really look like, he's been losing to Zergs recently, not so much.
Yeah. Gerard giving Terius a chance here to make another impression. He didn't play so far in the GSTL, so this season we haven't seen him. And the question, of course, now remains if he can take down Alive. It's a pretty strong opponent, as already mentioned, and with Alive just being able to take down Maru, this was definitely quite the interesting game. So that's going to be a pretty good match. The map works a little bit in favor of Terius, but yeah, that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, it certainly will be.
I could have rather seen, Classic play again.
Yeah, this choice is just, he's kind of like the mystery player. It's hard to prepare for him, you don't expect him, he comes out of nowhere. It's even hard to talk about him right now because he hasn't been around, he's been in the shadows. As soon as you have that player that's in the house, he's training with the team, he's practiced a lot in-house, he's on fire, but nobody really knows it. And then when he comes out, you're like, oh, weird. And sometimes he surprises you, looks really good, and sometimes the opposite happens and he gets crushed, and then you have to bring out the heavy hitters like Creator and Marine King.
Prime Team is in a situation where they can make sure that they have still 3 players left, and 2 of them are 2 of the best players that we currently see here. So that's definitely a position where you're really comfortable sending out a player like Terius, and he has a chance here. If he is able to win against Alive, that would of course be a great position, a great start for the GSTL, and definitely make sure that Gerard is probably going to use him in one of the next team matches. So Classic last time got a shot, and he was quite impressive. Well, got a lot of wins. Now it's Terius, and well, let's see what he has planned. I actually don't know why exactly we're waiting currently.
There's nothing in the chat that gives me any hints.
Yeah,
they're just saying. Actually, everyone in chat has asked politely for the game to start.
Yeah, everything is just spamming it right now. Okay, now it starts. This delay didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit odd. Terius may have been messing with some settings that they just wasn't talking about it in chat.
Yeah, that might be it actually.
As we mentioned earlier, Whirlwind will be the map here. It's a good map for Zerg. It's a big map. It's open. I think any strategy is possible. We have seen a lot of Terrans actually go mech on this map, despite it being open and large.
Alive has something on his arm.
He's trying to get it off.
Yeah.
Don't you hate that when you have that splinter, but your fingernails are too short, you can't pull it out, you keep trying, eventually you have to get the tweezers?
Do you think he has a splinter? I
don't think so. I think he's just trying to figure out...
I think he just grew a hair.
Yeah, he's like, well, that's an unusual hair.
Is that a new freckle?
Alright, this is the last stand again for Fnatic. Alive has to win here or it's all over. The map is Whirlwind, and this is the GSTL out on ball.